So that's another thing. Another thing, what also we are looking at is that uh, with all these things coming together, the new normal is going to be that the future of India seems to be very bright. And this is what I want to convey to your investors and to the people that have faith. These are very trying times. Things are not very good. The markets are extremely volatile. But behind all this, whatever is happening, trust me, this is like a building on fire, and the fire is being put out. So you can't see, there's chaos, you don't know what is happening. But once the fire is put off, you'll be able to see clearly what is left, what is not left, what can be removed from the building. It's not that everything is burnt off. It's not that everything, is completely lost. There's maybe some portions are completely destroyed, some portions could be retrieved, so it's like that. The economy is going to get back on its shape. Trust me, you cannot keep 1.3 billion people locked in for too long. You need to get out, you need to consume, you need to produce. So the economy, once it starts growing, and with the protectionism, with all this which is coming, with the new opportunities from China which will come, because people are looking at India differently now, I'm sure we are looking at, the jobs, everything will start going up. It is a bad time now. Jobs are being, even in the US, we are having a problem with jobs. 3.1 million jobs evaporating in a week.
Yeah,
So
there was a recent data which says that after this pandemic gets over, close to 1.1 crore people across the world are going to come below the poverty line. That is what is the data I have read. I think it has come from WHO or IMF. Not very sure, but that is what I saw recently.
yeah, so that's the. But what happens is the government needs to support you now, and RBI is already giving you an extension of three months for your EMIs. They are cushioning the impact of what you're going to feel, because today is not a problem of your earning capacity. Today is a problem of your cash flow, because you're sitting at home and your work is elsewhere. You're not being able to generate the cash. The biggest problem is the unorganized sector, which is bearing the brunt as we talk, because they have never had the time to stock up. They had never no warning. They live day to day, and for them life is literally becoming hell. So I personally believe that this underprivileged class is where the government needs to send a minimum of 3,000 or 4,000 rupees per person per month for the next 1 month or whatever, and see that it reaches their bank account. We have Jandan accounts. We know who the people are. Identify them and see that there are, use a software, remove the ones which are duplicates, and just send the money to them, because this is the lifeline. And this is where money is like medicine. It has to be taken on time to give you the result. Too little or too late is ineffective. It's the need of the hour is now. So that's what I personally feel should be done. It has been done by Hong Kong. Hong Kong, in I think a month and a half or 2 months back, gave a $10,000 per citizen to 7 million citizens of theirs above the age of 18. So all this is possible, and I think some sort of financial support is what is the need of the hour, especially for the underprivileged.
Right. So last question to you, Jagdish sir. What is your advice to our fellow traders who are there
Yes,
in the market
yes,
day
yes,
in and
yes.
day out?
Day trading, please understand, now we have a situation. On one side, we have relentless selling by the FIIs. Other side, we have some sort of support by the DIIs. Whatever little money is coming in, they're grabbing it. But in between these two, there's a liquidity gap. And that's the reason you see the market swinging wildly. The reason the markets are swinging wildly is because they are dependent on the foreign news. Every day, what is happening to the coronavirus figure, based on that, your market figures go. What's happening to Dow, based on that, your markets are dancing. So your markets are vulnerable. See, whenever there's a lack of liquidity and when there's too much of pessimism and too much of news coming, and you're dependent on news, the markets will become very volatile. So what I suggest our traders to do is, first, you need to identify which trend you are in. I don't need to tell you, you are already in a bear trend. Even if you take a simple graph, a monthly chart of the Nifty, and you connect the dots right from the bottom, you'll find that 9,450 was where the trend line broke. So when you're in the, even the monthly trend has been broken below 9450. So if you look at it, 9450 is your first level of, beyond which you will again come back into safe territory. Second thing you could come back is the recent panic bottom which we had when we had the circuit of 8,555. So you could also look at 8,555. Today we are much below that as well. So what I'm suggesting is, you need to go with the trend. If the trend is bearish, it's simple: sell and buy. Sell first, buy later. Sell on rises, buy on dips. And do not try to average out on stocks because of the volatility. You will get chopped out and stopped out. Second, take smaller positions. Don't try to go in for a kill right now, because the market may kill you, may just evaporate everything out. I remember, it's like, I'll give an analogy. Have you seen the guy having butta on the road, that corn?
Yeah, yeah.
When you have corn, they have that small thing and they keep on fanning it, right? When you're roasting it, when you're roasting corn on the cob, they roast it. Now you're taking the corn cob and putting it into a bonfire. So when you're putting it inside, you don't know what will come out. So do not try to do that, because this is a fire going on right now. It's not ordinary. It can move this way. It can move wild. You've seen 300 points, 500 points intraday movement, and it swings like in maybe in a day, 1,000 point high low difference in a day, or volatility intraday. Now what does that mean? That means the fire is just moving like this, and you're trying to do something in between. So as a trader, keep your stop losses. Yes, you're right. Take your trade, take a smaller quantity, put your tight stop losses. If it triggers, no remorse, try again. And that is what I would suggest. Don't try to fight the market.
Right.
So that is the only thing I would like to tell you, because what comes in between you and the market is ego. Don't let your ego come in between and say, no, I will try to time the market. I will try to fight it. Trust me, it's useless even thinking about it.
Right. Before you go and trade, I think it's a time to go back to the mindset classes and on the principles, basic principles which are there, which Jagdish sir was talking about: capital preservation, don't catch the falling knives, and when people are fearful, you be greedy, and when you be greedy when people are fearful. Right. So basically, these all words of wisdom of his being there in the market for 35 years, and he would have seen things like this in past. I mean, not a same event, but the way market behaves is very, very similar in the case of crisis. So
only one thing I would like to tell you: do not try to get the bottom, because bottoms can keep on getting deceived in this market. Once you're in bear territory, you can keep falling. 2008, 2009, I still remember, the market fell 57% in 1 year. So we are talking about only 30% now. We could fall another 20%. Is it possible? Yes. Do you have a stomach for it as an investor? If the answer is yes, the market will give you 2x. But you need to stomach the risk. You need to have capital. You need to preserve that capital, and you need to see that capital could be preserved and could be, you do not require that particular capital. Only then, and it should be your own money. No borrowings, please. It doesn't work like that. So you need to have your own capital. You need to have a capital which is earmarked, and you can stomach the risk for it, and you can sleep over it and say, yes, I know I bought a good stock. It's just a question of time. It's just a question of when the markets need to bounce. You need to see even more lower prices, and you need to just keep looking at that, and don't bother about it. So that's the only thing. You need to not get, take the newspaper every day and get scared and say, oh God, I'm losing so much money, because that won't work.
Right. One more very, very important thing which I want to mention, and this is I and Jagdish sir was discussing other day, was people will now start looking for alternative source of income as well, right? People who just go to the job, so as we talked about the digital, make money online, stock market, these are the trends which are going to be there. And there will be more requirement of experts who have been there, done that for such things, so there will be definitely, I mean, I think it's a time when you should think about becoming an expert in this field. Of course, becoming an expert takes time. It is not like a 1 day or 2 day or 1 week's job, but at some point of time, I think it's a time to upskill yourself, get to know the things, what are the trends, which are the money making trends, and how can you build these skills, once this particular issue is over. I mean, are you ready with the new set of skills? Because a lot of industries are going to close down, lot of companies are going to close down, and maybe some of the sectors which are getting a very very badly hit, you don't know what is going to happen. For example, airline sector, right? I mean, if your airline is grounded anyway, if you look at their business cycle, they have a 30 years of profitability cycle, isn't it? So keeping that in mind, what I would recommend is this is a time when you should start thinking that which are the skills which I can build along with what I'm currently working on. And one of the such skills would be, if you can manage your own money, or if you can take care of your own investment rather than relying on somebody, I think it would be a great thing. I mean, even if you're in a job, you can always go and take a positional trade if you cannot do a day trading, right? So keeping that in mind, I and Jagdish Ahuja sir are working together on a course. You would want to talk about that, Jagdish Ahuja sir, at this point of time? It's still an initial
Yeah,
phase, but
yeah,
on
okay.
15 days we should be ready.
Yeah, what I'm basically, contemplating is, trust me, it is indeed very, very, sad that, investors and traders have been losing money. And I find that, there were very simple rules which were there, which if they had followed, they would have been in a much, much better situation. So I personally feel that, now is the time for me to actually come out and help them and make them understand those those, what shall I say, I won't call them secrets, but those valuable nuggets of wisdom which I have acquired over the last 35 years. And that's when they will be able to understand, appreciate, and once they absorb those skills and that knowledge into their system, I'm sure there's no question that they're going to lose money in the markets. And they will be having successful trading as well as successful investing over the next, over the next future, wherever. So I personally feel that we will come out with a course, Vijay, and let's look at coming out with something where we will give them, A would be just the basics, B would be for people who have understood the basics and now would like to go, and manage their own funds as investors, or as traders who would like to enter the markets as traders. So as professional traders. So we'll have basically from the basics to the advanced to the professional. So three different courses is what I feel is, so that everybody, personally I feel everybody needs the basics, because basics have never been taught to us. And in fact, I am mentioning this from my book, which I have written, called Salary is Slavery, and it's going to be coming out in the next 5-6 months. So Salary is Slavery, from bondage to freedom. And in that I talk about this, that there is something wrong with the system, and our system is wrong. It's basically the education system and the environment in which we have grown up, where we have never been told the facts about money, where we have never been told how to become rich, but we've only been taught how to get a job. So that's where it ends. And all our skills have only been till that level. We'll talk about it once the course comes out. But yes, 80% is mindset. If you have the mind for it, and your mindset is clear, you'll be able to take a clear decision. Otherwise, you will just fall by the wayside.
Right. And last thing, what I would want to add, guys, I've been there in the market for almost like a decade now. Of course, less experience than Jagdish Ahuja sir. And what I can tell you, we have gone to some of the best program on trading and investing mindset of the world, right? So one big challenge here is to find a mentor, find an expert who is somebody who has been there, done that, created that kind of a wealth, enjoying the freedom, because I see a lot of people who are still in the job. They talk about the financial freedom, which is something very difficult to understand. So you have to look for those mentors who have been there, done that, and they are the ones you should be looking up to, and they are the ones who can guide you. Right. This is what I can say from my 10 years in experience. And to me, I think Jagdish Ahuja sir, he is my friend, philosopher, coach, mentor. Every time when I get into a difficult situation, I go back to him. So getting an expert like that is a very very rare, I must say. I mean, just look around. Who do you have who has got experience of 35 years in capital market? So you should be looking forward to the program he's coming up with. And I think that could be your redemption. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your time. Last time we discussed about the coronavirus at a very, very early stage, the word of wisdom what you gave. We are seeing now the effect of that, and today also we got the nuggets from you on for our investors, for our traders, and people who are not yet investing in the stock market. Your words would have given them a lot of confidence. So thank you so much for your time. And next time again, I'll host you on some other topic. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and Vijay, I would like to end you with my 4M philosophy. You heard of 3M.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking of 3M, N95, blah, blah, masks and all that, which is manufactured by 3M. I have a 4M philosophy for the market. The first is mindset, the foundation. The second is a method in which you need to do it. The third is the money management principles which you need to follow. And the fourth, just like the chair you're sitting on with 4 legs, the fourth is a mentor. So if you have these 4 legs on the chair you sit on, trust me, you'll never fall. So this is the 4M philosophy, and over and out. Thank you so much
So
for
one
having
more
me
thing
here.
I just wanted to mention once you bring this thing to me, guys, about Jagdish Ahuja sir, one thing I want to tell you, he is one person whom I know who has got maximum original quotes, right? We take a lot of quotes from somebody else, but he has got his own set of quotes which he has created. I mean, at least in my circle, I have not come across somebody who has got those many quotes. So yeah. So, sir, according to you, some of your 2, 3 best quotes which you would want to give to our investors and traders.
Now, what comes right on top of my mind is there's no romance without finance. You cannot be a romantic without finance. Wife, girlfriend won't come out with you if you don't have the money. So there's no romance without finance. But if you romance finance, you will dance.
Wow.
So
Awesome.
that's what I say, and I think that should be one thing which people should think about: romancing finance, romancing the markets, and romancing everything to do with life. Because trust me, your heart is beating today. You're alive. Be grateful. The world has changed outside. Don't bother. Now, when you can't step outside, go inside and change yourself. And this is the right time. This is your, caterpillar to butterfly stage. This is where you need to be moving from that caterpillar, seeing all the cocoon around you, building yourself up, and breaking free as a butterfly once you get the time, and spreading your wings and flying. That's what I would like to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time, sir.